Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host for the Network Marketing Insider. I would love for you to sit back and enjoy. My biggest thing is you gaining some value in our conversation. We're going to talk about tips and tricks and strategies that work for network marketers in the past, sometimes failures, a lot of successes, and what you need to do to become successful in a network marketing model. Also, at home working. A lot of you don't like your 9 to 5. So you find spots in your day that you can work a network marketing business. It'll definitely help you grow your business. One that I want to share with you before we get into it is if you're not involved with Got Backup, it's those that lose pictures of loved ones, of weddings, of their past. You pay a lot of money to iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive. You get 6 terabytes of data storage for $9.97 a month. The other ones are 2 terabytes. You get 6 accounts. You have Android and iPhones. You can have it set up. It's automated backups. You can have access to all your photos, documents, and data anywhere in the world. And also you have military-grade encryption and security. Use my link, connection.gotbackuptour.com. We wouldn't have this business if we're not talking about network marketing. I'm also pitch what I'm doing, right? So it's important to make sure you take a look at it. It's in the description as well. So please, without further ado, let me bring on my next guest, Troy Warren. What's up, Troy? How are you?
Hey, Shawn, how are you? Nice to be here.
Very nice to meet you in person. I see a lot of stuff what we're doing as far as you are a CEO. And before I even get into it, tell everyone that's live and on the replay, who are you and what do you do?
Well, it's funny. For over 35 years, Shawn, I've my biggest love is consulting with brick and mortar style businesses, helping them get a leg up and make their businesses the best they can be. Although I'm not really into titles anymore, Shawn. So you could literally call me the janitor. It's okay. But I have a lot of fun with that. Back in the late 80s, I was a data guy and have been on that journey for a long time. And of course, we live in that world now where everything depends on data. And so that's, a lot of what I do with the data, and then helping the brick and mortar type businesses, really any kind of business. But I'm that guy that could be like the car mechanic that can lift up the hood, and I don't need to hook up wires. I can just listen what's going on. But a lot of people say, I hear the words brilliant and genius, but I just, I'll accept that. But I just remind people, just remember, this didn't happen overnight. This has been going on for over 35 years. So it's a culmination on this journey. And of course, you and I met on the latest project, which what I always wanted to do, and I'll just be blunt here with you, Shawn, because I've been in network marketing since I was 18 years old, and I got in a company then, and I didn't even know what it was. I just was in an apartment, and I wrote a $75 check, and it was for a discount card. And 4 weeks later, there was 250 people in a hotel room. So, and I literally did so well at that I thought, well, what do I need to go to college for? And then I got a $42,000 check, and my parents were getting nervous that I wasn't going to go to college. And guess what? The company imploded. The $42,000 check didn't cash. I went to college, and my parents were relieved. So, but all throughout the hills and valleys of that. And, when you introduced this show, you talked about, successes and failures. I've had my share of failures that throughout, network marketing. And I would say it this way, Shawn, network marketing, MLM, it's a beautiful thing. It's an awesome science. It works. What the problems usually come along are, it's the people that get in the way of it. And, when I started, Shawn, it was, in the late 70s, early 80s. We didn't have the internet then. We didn't have the distractions. I wasn't getting hit, and none of us were getting hit with 50 opportunities a day and an email box that fills up, right?
Oh yeah.
So now, that's part of the problem too. But you have so many companies in the space now, they come and go. And I've built a lot of large organizations, many thousands of people before. And then you have the distractions. And, a leader may see what he or she thinks is greener grass over there. And not only are they attracted to that green grass, but they're taking everybody with them. And by the time they get there, Shawn, they find out it's brown grass and that hasn't been watered, and it's too late to put it in reverse. So for me, on my journey about 5 or 6 years ago, I actually did hang up my shoes in network marketing, not because it doesn't work, because the science of it does. It's a beautiful thing. But it was because, I'm 64 now and I'm in the fourth quarter of life. I feel good. I love what I do. And predictably, I should be here another 20 or 25 years. However, having built organizations of 25 to 50,000 people, when you get to my stage in the fourth quarter of life, what I was getting tired of was succeeding, and then all of a sudden something implodes. And now what am I doing? I'm starting all over again. It wasn't the dream, that walk away residual income where I could go be comfortable now. So I said, no, not at this stage. I just don't want to do that anymore. So what happened now, as you know, with Local City Places is it just sort of happened, Shawn. This was not planned, by the way, but we saw when we were putting this together what was happening. And that was, wow, we've really got something here that's refreshing to the industry, because there's no product or service purchases, which is huge in and of it.
Unheard of. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, no credit card recurring charges, no auto ships, no weird comp plan that, hey, you could make thousands if you did this, but over here you can't do it because, something was wrong in the comp plan. So we have just a really simple unilevel with unlimited width on every tier. And the biggie is, for most people, it's the biggie, no selling. And so we thought, wow, so my hat's back in the ring, and I didn't think it was going to be, Shawn. Truthfully, I really didn't think it was going to be. And of course, you're participating in the opportunity and you know where it's going. And so that lends itself to the brick and mortar type business that I love consulting with. So we found a way in the review world to compensate the reviewer. And of course, as you know, the review business is it's mammoth. It's just a behemoth now. And millions of people do reviews every single day. Businesses live and die on, their reviews now. And so we were looking for a way, how could we compensate the reviewer? And we're still branding this, Shawn, but we didn't find a way to compensate you for actually writing the review. I keep on branding this.
Right.
What happens is we're in our baby shoes now. And so 99% of the time when you go to do a review on our platform, at least for now, you will be the first to review that particular merchant. Well, if you are, and then we engage that merchant and that merchant decides to upgrade with their advertising, then you're compensated for the introduction to that merchant, not for writing the review, but for the introduction, just like it was a salesperson that was introducing a merchant and now they're upgrading. And of course, we call our affiliates partners,
right?
Because it is a partnership, because you're writing the review and corporate is taking over with the merchant. Remember, I said no selling. So corporate is engaging the merchant on your behalf. And then when that merchant upgrades, then you receive a commission for the life of that merchant, not just one time, for the introduction of that merchant. So that's why we call our partners, because it's a partnership. And for most people, that is so refreshing because there's no products or services to buy ever. And there's no selling for them ever. So if somebody, and the other cool part about this, Shawn, is we don't have to get somebody to do something that they're not already doing. We don't have to convince that, because we do it on different intervals, of course. I mean, we do, maybe some people will go out to eat 10 times a week and some people go out to eat 2 times a month. But either way, we're doing it. We're just doing it at different intervals, whether it's the car wash, the dry cleaners, the chiropractor, whatever that is. You're already doing that. We're all doing it. And millions of people are doing reviews on Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, all of those. Amazon is the biggie every single day that goes by. So that was just sort of like the cherry on top for us. And then we realized what we had found. And of course, we wanted it to remain a free program. So nobody had to go pitch anybody and go through that. So mind you, Shawn, I'm not saying, and I just want to make this clear, I'm not saying other opportunities where there's an investment that's a bad thing. I'm just saying for most people, and if we're really talking about the truth here on your show, the truth is that the sad statistic is that 88% of the people in MLM never make any money. And so this is something that we're really excited about, because we figured out what millions of people are already doing anyhow every day without the thought of compensation. What if we could create a way where there was compensation for something that they're already doing? So the proposition is, how would you like to get paid for something that you're already doing? And if you like that proposition, do you know others that would like to get paid for what they're already doing? So that's how we got here. And that's how I met you, actually, and that's how we're here today. So it's a fun subject. And I just want to be clear, even though there's ups and downs with network marketing, it's a beautiful thing. And it just depends on the approach to it.
Yeah, no, I think it's powerful what you set up, and I love it. And it's easy to tell people, hey, check this out, watch this video, sign up. It's free. And they're like, wait, how can it be free? And you can earn money. It's and there you have trainings, you have Zooms. Now, some people don't show up to Zooms. Some people don't look at the trainings, and they're kind of like baffled. Well, if you do some work, it's called networking for a reason. You have to do something to understand what you're involved in. So, and I think one huge thing is becoming an ambassador in a city, which some people don't realize. And if you haven't joined yet, my link is in the description. Definitely, get on board. You become an ambassador, you can now open up, and it unlocks. You have now the ability to have an image. You can have a video. You can change your bio. And then when you're sending out your profile for people joining, they can see what else you're involved in. So it's, as this is growing, everything can grow.
And there's one bigger piece to that. And you're right on with the image and the link, and you can have a video there. However, to back up a step, what's so significant about an ambassador is, at Local City Places, the traffic is picking up every single day. So you're the ambassador of your city. So there can only be one ambassador. So in the search results, your ambassador banner is at the top of the search results. Whether somebody's searching in your city, where you're the ambassador for an American restaurant or a plumber or whatever it is that they're searching for, when they get that search result, you as the ambassador show up at the top on every single search result in your city forevermore. And today, sure, we're in our baby shoes, but can you imagine down the line when there's tens of thousands of searches going on a daily basis? And then link that to what you just said, that your ambassador banner is up at the top of that search result. When clicked, now whatever other business venture that you're in, you've got a banner now, you've got a video, you've got a link. So that will get you unlimited clicks and unlimited impressions of whatever that opportunity is. And by the way, if that opportunity changes, it only takes you 5 minutes to go in the back office and change the banner and the video, and you're done. We do moderate that to make sure everything is appropriate. So it depends on our team to approve it and put it up there.
Right.
But again, Shawn, guess what? That's all free. That's free. It's all free. So, and it's funny because our experience, some of this I didn't really see coming, Shawn. I just thought, well, it's free. So, wow. But I think that we live in a world right now where people suspect it's like, are you sure it's free? Is there a catch? They're waiting for the shoe to drop in the room going, there it is. It's not really free, but it really is free. And you know that because you're deep into the system now. But that's what we really want to do, is help people with a true walk away residual income. And as you know, I'm not into income claims because everybody's going to have a different experience. But in the unilevel comp plan with unlimited width on every tier, there's no tricks or hoops to jump through. And so when you realize how mammoth the industry is, it literally only takes you a handful of merchants that have upgraded, you personally. And then when you refer it to others, you have up to 7 tiers of people doing the same thing that you receive a percentage of their merchants that upgrade.
Right. Yeah.
And not just one time, but month after month after month after month. So, I dare say, because of how big the industry is, and again, I'm saying everybody's going to have a different experience. So it's all based on effort. However, there is no investment in the program. But I know, for example, this year, without a doubt, we will pay lots and lots and lots of partners in the 5 and 6 figure range residually and walk away. And it really is beach money, because once your merchant's in, how refreshing is that? There's not, in network marketing, the other thing I talk about, Shawn, is reselling, because once you've got somebody in and they're buying whatever it is they're buying, they need to buy it every month or else we don't make money, right? So you always have to go back to your tribe a little bit and do your reselling to make sure that they stay in. Well, here, there's no reselling ever, because once your merchant's in, that's where the money comes from. The merchant wants to be here because of the traffic. They want to be in front of the traffic and the audience, which grows and grows and grows and grows. So they don't, it's not a logical thing for them to leave, which means that when you're attached to a merchant like that, it really is beach money, because that commission from that merchant every month is there like clockwork over and over and over again. And, people ask me, will this be good to do 6 months or a year from now? Yes, it still will be, because there's millions of businesses. However, you do know we're in our baby shoes right now. And so, yeah, I would say people that see it and want to scoop up more right now, they have one of the best opportunities ever to get as many first to review positions. But will it still work 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? Yes, because there's millions of businesses. The other thing is too, Shawn, as you know, we've already started talking about going into other countries. The first will be the Philippines, and that will be very exciting, because people in the United States could refer people in the Philippines, and vice versa. People in the Philippines know people in the United States. So it works both ways. It's a two-way street. And then, of course, it'll work that way when we go to other countries. Like, we have people in Australia, Canada that are really, really chomping at the bit to get in and asking us, when are you going to launch this? So it's just really a fun time. And for me, my whole plight in this, Shawn, is I want to bless a lot of people with, an opportunity like this. because I know I've been through the hills and valleys. I know what you experience. I've built big organizations, and I've had all the joy, and I've had all the errors that took place, and go, oh, what just happened here? And I know what it feels like to have to start all over again. And the other thing, Shawn, you've probably heard this before, but when I got about halfway through my career in network marketing and had those things happen where companies went down or something happened, then I found something new, seemed good. And then I go back out to my network, and there's that word again. But then they're like, okay, but what happened to this last thing? Now, why are we doing this? And it got to the point where I felt like I was part of the NFL club, and that doesn't mean football. That means no friends left, because
Yeah.
they're like, well, this didn't work. And so that's the other thing that we love about this, is because nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's writing a check. There's not an investment except for your time. And here's the other stat that I love in this industry. Over half of the internet connected community is doing reviews on a regular basis. And that's why we almost call them secret agents, because I'm sure you have family and friends who, unbeknownst to you, are doing reviews, but there's no reason to say, Shawn, I'm doing a review. They're just doing
Right.
it.
The goodness of their heart. Yeah.
Yes. And they're doing it to help their fellow consumer, saying, hey, this is a good place. This may not be a good place. And that's why businesses live and die on reviews now, because, back when I started my career, Shawn, businesses could hide because
Right.
there was nothing public. There was no internet. So they could get away with things that they cannot get away with today. And so, and like at Yelp, they do reviews not only to help their fellow consumer, but there's, they gain social media influence from the all the friending and all the things that go on, and all the badges, and it's fun for them. But again, without the thought of compensation, and they're doing it by the millions every day. And that's what leads to my excitement. So if you will, Shawn, it sort of excited me to come back to the industry. And my partner is dancing in the streets, because ever since we got started, she's a really good and big networker. And, along the way in our partnership, Shawn, she's like, well, we have this thing over here. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do it. And now she's dancing in the streets, Shawn, saying, I got Troy Warren to come back to the network marketing industry. So kind of fun, but I'm really excited about this at the crescendo of my career, because I think this will go on for years and years and years, maybe generations to come. And the review industry is not a fad, for sure. It's here, and it's sunk in the concrete now, and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
I know Troy was saying early on, it takes some time. Some people say, oh, we'll be around for 6 months, a year. Everything's going to be around. Every network company is around, unless they really go belly up.
Yes.
They're going to be around for a long time. It's just what you put into it. So some
Yes.
people have expectations early on. They're going to make all this money, which you're not going to make a lot of money early on. You're going to plant seeds so that you harvest it down the road. And I'm a full-time teacher as well. I teach phys ed and health. I love having time to build something for the future, build a legacy, and leveraging other human beings
Yes.
who are action takers. And that's why I'm slowly building mine. Yes, you can do advertisement and get people joining your stuff. They won't fill out the partner agreement. They won't do any of the reviews. They'll just be sitting there. So I want people that are joining me. They do the partner agreement. They do their 10 reviews, 4 a day. In a couple of days, you can have all 10. Then you introduce 10 other people, and you got your business started.
Yes. And that's why I go back to what I said. Most people are already doing this anyhow. So we don't need to overcomplicate it, because it's simple. You're already visiting merchants in your city and surrounding area. So why not? I got some other good news too, because we've been working on this for a while, but it won't be long before we introduce the ability to review an e-commerce business or a digital business. So we're just working on, they don't have addresses that we can put in, and they're not local. However, that's coming. And, for example, Shopify, which is probably the biggest platform when it comes to e-commerce stores with entrepreneurs, I think they're up to like 2.5 million active stores in the United States. So that will bring another big opportunity for people to review. And of course, look what happened in the pandemic. It really made the whole e-commerce thing just soar through the ceiling because everybody needed it delivered to the front door. So, and you can even review your delivery person on Amazon now. And there's a way, I thought it was kind of a hoax, but there is a way to go through a back door. And if you give your Amazon driver a review, a good review, or the delivery, they actually get a $5 tip from Amazon, not from me, but from Amazon. So, there's so many facets to the review business, but we do it on a daily basis now.
No, it's just something. It's a beautiful thing, and I think with like how you shared, you were involved with before the internet. Yeah, you had the in-person rooms. You had to fill rooms up.
Yeah,
You don't have to do that today. You can do Zoom calls. You can do a lot of things that are a little bit more unique, and yeah, you can get a lot of opportunities now, like in your inbox constantly. What do you say? What was like? Let's end on a failure that you had in the past that you learned a massive education from.
Well, I think some of it, what I remember from all of those years, because I got online in 1993, and so that presented massive opportunities. The advent of the internet, and but I would say over the years, some of those failures had to do with technology that was coming and it was going. And, the marketing part always has seemed to work out for me, but there's been times where technology just wasn't ready yet. And, it just came too soon. I would describe it like the crypto world. Nobody knew where Bitcoin was going and what it was doing. It was more based on luck at that point. And technology in the internet sometimes was that way. It's like things got presented. I'll give you an example. The QR code. For the longest time, Shawn, that just sat still. And I'm like, it was just an example of you couldn't get people. They were just too impatient. It's like, oh, I'm not going to go download an app just so that I could snap a picture of that QR code. So I really thought there's a good example of a technology that I thought was just going to die a slow death and then a quick death. Then all of a sudden they convinced, or whoever they was, convinced Android and iOS to make it native to the camera. And then look what happened. It just shot straight through the roof. And now you don't need the software anymore. So I would say the biggest part since 1993, when I've been online, has been literally the technology. And sometimes it was out there too soon and something didn't take off the way that it was supposed to. And for me, Shawn, my whole career has been marketing too. And prior to 1993 and getting online, I was a data guy. And so for my clients, I would drop like 1 million postcards in the street every month for my clients. That was our internet. But here's the thing, Shawn. Today we can send an email and it's in your inbox in the next 30 seconds. Back then, we had to drop a postcard and we had to wait 7 to 10 days. And we crossed our fingers hoping that what we did was okay, because we had to wait 7 to 10 days to find out if it was real. And if it wasn't real, guess what? We had all that printing and postage money in it and you had to start over. So it's nothing like today. But those technology pieces were probably what lended to failures in the past. And I will tell you that, Shawn, as we end here, any entrepreneur that's been through the hills and valleys that I have, that says that they haven't had any failures, they're probably fibbing
Oh,
because you're going to have some along the way. But I've just always, I've been fortunate that I've won more than I've lost. So, and now I'm at the crescendo where, I'm pulling things out of my satchel now that I wished I knew in my 20s and 30s. So I'm at that crescendo now, and that's what makes it even more fun.
No, man, a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate what you're doing. I'm along for the ride. If anyone wants to get on board, definitely, use my link that's on the bottom or in the description. You want to reach out to Troy as well. All this information is in the description. And I'll be jumping on that Zoom later on. And we hope the rest of you have an amazing rest of your day. As always, I'm here to help, motivate, and inspire. Troy, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Shawn.